and perhaps make some new discoveries. Sometimes when we sit in our comfort zone as an actor, we stop listening, and we stop searching for perhaps what the world has to offer us today in terms of surprise. Right? We sort of say, I know how to do this. This is the part of my talent that I like. This is the part of my talent that I have confidence in. I'm not interested in that part of the talent.
But the thing is, if you've been doing a job for decades, for over 10, 20 years, you know what this job is about. You know what you're expected. You know, when you're doing this on stage, people would expect to see things that you do, and automatically, you do what you know.
And as a director of theater, but more as a teacher, my job is to perhaps find a way to help you rediscover parts of your talent that you're not so confident in. That may be a big discovery for you. Oh, maybe I didn't know. I resisted going somewhere with my talent sometimes and led more from a place of confidence, right? Then it becomes less about being curious and really listening and continuing to live in your comfort zone. So there's no surprise. I'm really interested in the surprise.
The artist might say, well, I might be there to please the audience because this is for you, but at the same time, because I'm an artist, then I do the art, I have to please myself, which might not necessarily please the audience. They might not understand what I'm saying because you are not there yet to understand what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But you don't really agree with that attitude?
No, I think it's a really interesting question. I think we can challenge an audience. I think it's kind of our responsibility and a bit of an obligation. I'm not saying we should pander. I'm saying, look what we made. It's Shakespeare. You're not going to understand the first half an hour of it, probably, until we our ears adjust to it. If it's a challenging piece of avant-garde theater or experimental theater, it's still for them.
Right.
And I'm going to challenge them with that, or it's going to be political in this way, or subversive in that way, or super strange and weird, right? But we still make it for them.
Yeah,
we don't make it for us. We make it to be given away.
The question is about leading the way, leading the audience, or respond to the audience.
I think you can do both.
There is a way.
Yeah, you can lead them and respond to them at the same time. They may be confused. Good, that's my point. My point is to confuse them for a minute so that I can bring some new idea perhaps into the room. But again, you can lead them but still make it for them. To change them, to change their mind, or to perhaps help them discover something new, understand something that perhaps is elusive.
This is the interesting part, because you kept saying you hope people can find their own talent, which might be surprising themselves. Yeah. The qualities they didn't realize before. How can that be? I mean, we're supposed to be the ones who know ourselves the best.
We're supposed to be. It's not always the case. Sometimes I think there's always things to discover in your work. There's always things to discover in yourself.
You're talking about the technique side, or?
I'm talking about everything. About your growth as a human being. Your growth as a human being directly affects your growth as an artist. And so if you're making discoveries, I didn't know that I was capable of that. I didn't know that that was possible. Right? I always avoided that. But maybe that's a gold mine. Maybe the thing that you avoid is based on fear. Right? And if you begin to learn to not lead with your fear, but lead with your hope, other things become possible. You make bigger discoveries. I can let that go now. I don't have to be ashamed of that quality in myself, but actually celebrate it as a really strong part of my talent.
You've been doing this program for a few years already.
Yeah, this is the second year.
Yeah. How was last year's?
It was great. It was so fun. The students were amazing.
Wait, any surprises?
There's always surprises.
Which might be?
People growing. People surprising themselves. People being moved when they're watching comedy. That's the beautiful thing about the clown. Sometimes when we see someone watch the clown, there's something so beautiful and innocent and open and naive and childlike that we're reminded of those qualities in ourselves. And it can be very moving to say, that's what I gave up in order to do this.
Still to come on College Express.